help prevent wildfires. It hits them close to home. Not everybody gets the hug, my friend. So that's pretty special to get a hug from Smokey Bear.
So it was him. Guys, I told you it was Smokey.
Okay, well, congratulations, my friend. And thanks for calling. There are many ways to prevent a wildfire. Learn how you can do your part at SmokeyBear.com.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Sponsored by the U.S. Forest Service, Ad Council, and your state forester.
Good morning, Stockton. Good evening, Stockton. I'm obviously delusional. This is KXVS Sports Tonight. You are in studio with Alex over here working the board, holding it down for us. To my right would be SG, Stephanie Guerrero. She's always got the stats. I'm sure she's excited for baseball season, which is now officially on the horizon since we've turned the corner after Super Bowl Sunday. I am London Mark, and we're here for the Monday edition of KXVS Sports Tonight. There will be a show this Thursday. Another edition of KXVS Sports Tonight with myself, Alex, and Stephanie Guerrero. All the three of us will be here. So make sure that you stay tuned for that. What'd you say?
Every other week he gives somebody else's name.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Do you want to give him a social security number, address?
I don't even think he thinks about it.
He probably doesn't.
I apologize.
You're all good, man.
Can you guys hear me? I can't hear myself in my headphones. So.
No?
So,
I'm going to hook you up. Just keep talking.
Sweet.
Assuming I'm out there, I'm loud enough.
So the Super Bowl happened this weekend. Oh, that's better. Thanks, Alex. I really appreciate that. Super Bowl happened this weekend, and I will admit that I am in my Patriots jersey and not my Patriots underoos like somebody to the left of me has been suggesting all day long.
Yeah.
But the game was crazy.
Crazy game.
And I'm still in shock at the way that it ended.
I think the whole world is, or anybody that watched that game has got to have that same reaction after just a horrible finish by the Falcons and amazing comeback by the Patriots. I mean, how do you argue that?
I mean, you can't. Yeah, I mean,
You said, what, 31 unanswered?
31 unanswered to win the game. And going into, well, essentially they scored 28 points in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
So
Tom Brady was 21 of 27 passes for 246 yards, and that was just in the fourth quarter and overtime. So
Yeah.
that just goes to show you how much he turned it on when he only had 466 yards for the entire game. So he basically doubled it in clutch time. So.
yeah,
I knew when, oh my gosh. Really, when the pass interference happened. I mean, it was a done deal. It was solidified.
the pass the
PI at the end.
at the 1 yard line.
Yeah. So.
Well, there we go.
Yeah.
So when the pass interference happened at the 1 yard line,
Yeah, it was obvious. I mean, other than Vic Beasley getting that interception.
nothing short of that, huh?
No. You're not going to be able to stop the Patriots at the 1 yard line on 4 downs to go when that's on the line, no matter who you are at that point.
They couldn't stop him at all.
Exactly.
They couldn't stop him at all at that point in the game. So, I mean, let's just recap the game. So, the game started in the first half. The Atlanta Falcons surprisingly decided to defer the ball after having scored on their first drive of a game in the past 8 games. They deferred the ball to the Patriots. And then each team ended up giving up punts. As usual in the Super Bowl, the Patriots didn't score a touchdown in the first quarter.
Right.
But in the second quarter, the Atlanta Falcons, they turned it on. Coleman and Devontae Freeman got loose in the backfield and were able to gash the Patriots for yards on the outside.
Yeah.
That front seven of New England in the middle, which is where they usually do a lot of the run stopping, couldn't do anything to stop the run of the running backs for Atlanta.
And Julio Jones is doing what he does.
Mm-hmm. And then the Patriots had a good drive going at the beginning of the second quarter, and then LeGarrette Blount fumbles the ball, stripped right out of his hands. You have to give the Atlanta defense credit for that. And then, was it the very next drive, Tom Brady throws a pick, and you could tell, man, he was not Tom Brady for half the game. Like really not like overthrowing balls. He missed Julian Edelman on 2 plays when he was wide open. Also, I mean, on the other side of the offense, some of the receivers, they were dropping balls for the Patriots. They were not playing like themselves in the first half at all. And Tom Brady was on the ground a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of sacks.
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
got hurt like 16 to 20 times, something like that.
And there's at least 5 sacks from what I can remember. Mm-hmm. And the guy's first name was Brady Jarrett.
Yeah.
Of the Falcons, the rookie had 3 sacks in this game. He was all over Tom Brady. And then they go into the half at 21-3. And you're thinking maybe the Patriots will come out, maybe they'll be able to do something. The longer halftime break. Mm-hmm. Maybe something will be able to change in terms of momentum. The Atlanta Falcons get the ball. The Patriots do stop them. They force a punt, but then they also can't score. And then here come Atlanta Falcons. They score another touchdown, which seemed like the dagger at this point. It's like if the Patriots aren't doing well at this point, if they're down 28-3 at this point, the game must be over.
You would think.
That's when you started seeing all the posts on Facebook and people started talking.
And
about how the game was over.
Yeah, it was crazy. And Arthur Blank is dancing in the suite, and it's all smiles on the Atlanta sideline. And then the Patriots start turning it around. They're still running the ball for some crazy reason. But it seemed like the Patriots just found themselves. And then Coleman he gets hurt.
Yeah.
Coleman gets hurt. A couple of guys on the defense got hurt for Atlanta. And all of a sudden, it was just like the floodgates just completely opened.
They started not getting the same kind of push.
Mm-hmm. Brady's making all of his passes. Mm-hmm. I knew that the game was different when he made that out route pass to Danny Amendola on the right side. And it was just a great pass. I was like, oh, like we might actually have a chance to do this. I was having flashbacks of the Denver game from 2 years ago when the Patriots came back from 24 down to beat the Denver Broncos. The last time, that was the last time I believe that Brady and Peyton played each other. And then there was just a host of great catches, and so the Julian Edelman catch, the Julio Jones catch when the game should have been over. What do you think about them continuing to throw the ball the way that they did in terms of Atlanta when they were in that position?
I mean, it got them there, but at the same time, you got to trust the running game. That got you there as well.
That got them there in this game.
Yeah. So what's the deal? but I think sometimes when coaches get in that situation or that position, they start to overcoach the situation. I mean, look at it. You see what it is, and just attack the way that you normally would in a game. And I think that was one of those situations. They should have just ran the ball.
And that's what it was, right?
31 points, you couldn't get a field goal in any of that.
Yeah.
And you were just attacking.
If they had 34 points, they would have been just all right if they had gotten that extra 3 points, And so the Patriots started scoring right after they got the strip sack after Dante Hightower got the strip sack on Matt Ryan. They scored a touchdown there, and then they came back. They got the sack. They got some defensive stops. The catch by Edelman, I think, play of the game. Was that the play of the game?
I'd say so.
It was on a third down.
I'd say so.
And it was kind of similar to catches that have gone against the Patriots in the past.
I thought it was going to be that Julio Jones catch.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought it was
absolutely.
Gonna be that. But they that's right where we're talking. Mm-hmm. I mean, and now that I'm looking, it tells you right here. Freeman had 11 carries of 75 yards, 6.8 a carry.
Devontae Freeman did?
Yeah.
And what's funny is after Coleman got hurt, you didn't see much of Freeman at all.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it was weird. It was like
Freeman only had 7 carries. He had 29 yards, but I mean, they both were contributing. They both weren't.
They were both gashing.
6.8
what they were both
yards
doing.
Exactly.
They were both gashing.
So
is what it was.
You would think in that situation, if you don't give it to him, maybe a swing out to the flat. He's coming out of the backfield, something like that. But at the same time, they are a passing team.
Yeah.
A
passing team that
has the
did
MVP.
not adhere to the normal conventions of closing out a game like you normally should.
Right.
And that it seems to be, at least the story, the narrative is that was the key drive for the Falcons.
Oh, yeah.
They get all the way to the 22 already in field goal position. They have an incompletion, a sack, and a holding call. Essentially, they get pushed back 30 yards in the course of one series, and they have to punt the ball away and give it back to Tom Brady with I think it was 4 minutes and 37 seconds left, 8 points down. To me, to me, the most incredible thing about the entire thing is that they had to score two. Yeah, exactly.
I could even argue that last 2-point conversion could be the play of the game, because that
the
was,
one to Edelman.
Yeah.
That was, he had to fight to get in there a little bit.
And he just got it across too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Barely. Like, he barely beat his knee going down.
Yeah.
And so they get the 2-point conversion, and that's not even to win the game. It's the tie to have a chance to go to overtime. You give the ball back to Matt Ryan. They have no timeouts at this point,
Right.
Because they challenged the catch with Julian Edelman, so they're out of timeouts. But you still give the ball back to this Matt Ryan and Julio Jones offense. You think that maybe they could have something happen? Nothing did, and then we go to overtime. The first overtime that's ever happened in any Super Bowl. Took 51 of us to get there.
Yeah.
And then the Patriots get the coin toss and take the ball. And as soon as that happened, I knew it was over. I knew that they were going to win the game. That was when I knew that they were going to win the game, because I knew that the way the game was going, Atlanta was not going to be able to stop them to score a touchdown.
I was hoping for a field goal.
Just to give them a chance.
Yeah, just to give a
score.
chance.
Yeah,
just to see if they would go out there and be able to do it.
That
But
pass interference killed it.
That pass
It was a
interference
wrap.
killed it. I mean, they were playing on their heels. It was all bad from the get. And that's just how it goes. That momentum carries, and we see it time and time again. It's just not in this big of a game, but they do it. They break records.
So, did you talk about the Patriots?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not wrong there.
So, okay, next question. Do we think Brady should have gotten MVP? Because this has been a little bit of a controversial topic. I disagree. Don't think he should have.
Who should have gone to?
James White, I think.
Okay.
I think was
14
better.
catches.
Yeah, he actually had quite a few stats. Going over just quickly what he had. He had a record 14 catches, accumulating 110 yards and a touchdown. Rushed 6 times for 29 yards and 2 touchdowns. He also scored a 2-point conversion on a direct snap that cut Atlanta's lead to 28-20.
That direct snap was awesome.
His 3 total touchdowns made him just the 5th player ever to score 3 times in a Super Bowl. Amazingly, one of those players is also Terrell Davis. His diversity of production was also so rare that he became the first player in NFL history with at least 10 catches, 100 receiving yards, and 2 rushing touchdowns in a Super Bowl. His 6.95 yards per touchdown was also the 4th most out of 50 players to have ever registered with at least 20 touches in a Super Bowl. So,
Do you know who the last person to break that record was for most receptions in a Super Bowl?
2
years ago, Shane Vereen with 11 catches.
So his stats are pretty.
And so those stats,
out there.
you can't argue with those stats. Those are extremely impressive.
I mean, that's a lot of points. Not saying Brady didn't do his thing, but if White's not in that game doing all of this with how long it took them to get into the game to catch up to Atlanta and take it, we may not be sitting here talking about the Patriots winning.
The only reason why I say I think it should go to Brady is because I don't think that without him that they win this game.
I think you can say the same for either, though.
You could say that for every game.
No, I don't think that's the. We're talking about
every big.
We're talking
game.
about James White, who plays with Tom Brady. Tom Brady makes a lot of people better, and I'm talking about the way Tom Brady had to play to bring them back in this game.
Right, but you don't think that was in the game plan?
But do you think every quarterback could have done that? Do you think
if it's in the game plan? Pass to the running back. I mean, not saying that.
He didn't just throw to the running back.
No. I'm not saying. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying implement that into the game plan that we're going to lean heavily on passing to the halfbacks out of the backfield. Utilize that mismatch. That could be something. I'm just saying that could be something. Now, who knows? I just think in the game plan, if you have a passing quarterback, it could be done. I'm not taking anything away from the guy. I think he's the best quarterback ever. I have to say that because the proof is in the pudding. But it could have been in the game plan. That's all I'm saying.
I'm not going to argue with you.
But you still have to do it. You still have to utilize the situation. You still have to attack. You still have to make it happen.
And it's a part of their game that they use all the time in terms of passing to the halfback out of the backfield.
Right. Mm-hmm. But the reason I say that, Bill Belichick and that organization, they planned different almost for every game, for every situation, and so it would to see who else was they're gonna pass to. The two wide receivers weren't gonna have great days. The tight end, Bennett was not getting utilized the whole season like he was supposed to, so they weren't gonna have this master plan. Mm-hmm. It had to be something different, something mismatch, and they're good at that.
And that's what it was.
Yeah. I think, and that's what it was. I mean, he had 2 touchdowns rushing and he had 1 receiving, and 14 catches. He was balling.
Yeah.
They utilized that mismatch.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So what do we think the difference was in this game? Was it the Patriots being the Patriots? Was it Atlanta choking and giving the game up? Was it a bit of both?
I think it's probably a little bit of both. I mean, we heard the superstition yesterday that we were just talking about it earlier before the show started, that the going in MVP of the league has never actually won the Super Bowl.
You said it, but you jinxed it. You could have.
No, it was actually, I heard it the day before, like the morning of the Super Bowl. I heard people talking about it, which is what made me think it was like this typical jinx.
Yeah, but wouldn't that jinx it in Matt Ryan's favor?
How would it ended in his favor? Because usually they bring those stats up
because advantage Patriots, right? No Super Bowl MVP. No regular season MVP that year has won that year.
Yeah, it would be an advantage to the Patriots, but that's what I'm saying. It could be kind of like he could maybe be thinking about it, like subconsciously or superstitiously, if he is at all. Hopefully, they're not. I mean, once you're on that level, I would assume it's mild superstitions. Hopefully, than some of the bigger ones that you see within as a kid. But the Patriots are the Patriots. It's hard to deny. I'm not even a Patriots fan, but they have a winning formula. They continue to produce, and they continue to do what works for them with the people they have in the roles that they need them to produce in. So aside from the Falcons coming in and truly dominating and really being on top of their game the entire time, it's hard to say it could have gone either way or any other way than what it did. Mm-hmm. So
if some minor decisions hadn't been changed,
right? Like maybe if they could have did something to flip around the momentum when it started to change and New England started to come into the game. But other than that, I mean, it was just
like if they had gotten that interception.
Yeah. Other than that, it was kind of like it was like watching a slow car crash on the road. Like you have to look, you see it's coming, but you can't look away, and there's nothing you can do about it. And yeah, they fell flat. It was like they had it, and they just got beat out at the finish line with the split second. Somebody just crossed that line right before they did.
Pulled a hammy.
Yeah.
I felt like
pulled up and hit a hurdle. They didn't know what to do. So.
They did what Deion Lewis did at the end of the game when he flew out of bounds. Oh, that looked awful. What?
It did.
It looked that.
It did. I didn't even see what happened. I mean, after the fact, what did they say?
I don't even know what happened. I haven't read anything about it, but
it must not have been that bad.
Just watching the replay, he like stuck his foot in the ground and and then he like flipped out of bounds.
Oh yeah, his leg locked. Mm-hmm. Yeah, his like knee hyperextended when he went into the ground and then flew off. Yeah. It looked painful.
Yeah, it did not look good. I kind of thought that because they're talking. We talked all for the whole 2 weeks. Is the experience for the Atlanta Falcons going to be too much, or is the moment going to be too much for them? And I think at the beginning of the game, it definitely wasn't. Obviously, they came out and they were, whooping the Patriots' butt exactly the way that they wanted to. They went up 28-3. They had everything going the right way. But I think that when the Patriots got going, and you have a guy like Tom Brady on the other side who's been there so many times that he doesn't have to be rattled or nervous about what's going to happen because he's won and lost before and he knows exactly what to expect and how to handle the situation. I mean, that makes everyone else around him, it has to make everyone more calm.
I agree.
And so I think that the experience was too much, but it just didn't happen in the way that we thought that it might.
Right.
And so, did you guys like the commercials?
Didn't really watch them, to be honest.
No?
I watched football and I cooked.
Oh, what'd you make? You were cooking yesterday too. Were you guys cooking? You guys were obviously cooking together.
Yeah. I made some chicken satay and white rice with peanut butter sauce.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Some potato salad, and I think that was it. Because then he made some other kinds of chicken and some other goodies. So.
And there's no leftovers, right?
Yeah, but not for anybody else. I don't really.
She said,
I don't really share my satay.
I'm not sharing many of my food.
No, I don't really share my
All
satay.
right.
Satay is one of my favorite things to make, so yeah. And my kid usually eats whatever's left. I'm surprised there was any left this morning, because if you don't know what satay is, it's basically a chicken skewer for most people. If you haven't seen it, go to an Asian place, and it's usually on the appetizer menu with a little peanut butter dipping sauce. It's pretty awesome. But I use my grandmother's recipe, so it's
delicious.
pretty much.
And you don't share with anybody.
No, not really. Not unless they're there and unless they're helping skewer the chicken and they're helping doing stuff. No, you don't get to eat. Or you do the dishes.
You were sitting on the couch the whole time. You're not getting any.
Then I'll share. Yeah, exactly. If you're not helping do the food or you're not helping clean after, then you don't get to eat. That's just the rule.
And that's what it is.
Pretty
that's
much.
what it is. So you brought up superstitions a couple of minutes ago. And Alex and I were talking about superstitions earlier on the morning show. And I was ridiculously nervous during most of the game, and I was just like, "Oh my god, I can't believe that we're getting our butts kicked."
Are you one of those that if your team is losing and you just tuned in and they start losing, you change the channel because you feel like it's your fault, or do you continue watching?
No, I don't do that.
Oh, I do.
I don't.
I for my A's, I have to, because I feel like that's the only chance they have to win sometimes. So if they're losing and I just tuned in. Yeah, there was one year where I went to like 6 games.
And they lost every time?
Every single game.
Yeah.
Like towards like the second or third one, my son's like, "You're not going to be allowed to come anymore if they lose again, because it's all your fault."
Yeah, I have felt that way about my team before. But around the end of the first halftime, I was very tempted to change my shirt.
Get the rally hat.
I was like, "Oh, I have a different Patriot shirt in the car. I better go.
That one might be good luck.
I better go change it." And then I didn't. I resisted all urge.
You don't wear the holy socks?
No, no. The only thing I usually wear is just my my jersey. And I don't know. So the Patriots, they lost the Super Bowls to the Giants, and I used to never watch the halftime show, and now I feel obligated to. Just for,
Really?
Yeah, I do. Isn't that weird?
We have a superstitious watcher here. She was saying, my friend Cecilia is saying that she felt like she should have stayed home. As soon as she got to a party, the Pats started to come back. So she felt like she needed to turn around and go home.
I think my friend said that about me.
We all felt that way a little bit yesterday
funny,
on the superstitious level.
Talking about superstitions, you guys, she a Pats fan?
No, she was
she
going
wanted
for
the
the
Pats to
Falcons.
lose.
Yeah, as soon as she left and got to where she was going, the Pats started making a comeback. So she felt like she needed to go back home.
Well, as a Pats fan, you would be raising their superstitious level as a fan base. They are one of the least superstitious as a fan base.
New England.
You know why?
According to this
You know
poll
why?
that
New
came
England,
out this year,
really?
yeah.
You know why?
They are
I'm surprised
number-
by that, because I think, but no, Boston
They're
Red
number
Sox I
31.
would think is fairly superstitious,
yeah.
and same thing with the Celtics. So I'm
Yeah.
just surprised that New
that's a
England,
good
being
point.
from the same
According
place,
to
is
this
not
survey,
as superstitious, just on a fan base level.
Last year.
Well,
Yeah,
but then look
they're
at how
31st.
long they've dominated.
Exactly.
Give them a decade.
Exactly.
Give them a decade where they suck, and then let's see how superstitious their fans are. Then
They're so right.
Then let's see what this guy's
There's-
saying. He's got sage and witchcraft. and
Really?
you name it, he's going to be burning it.
No, you know what? So, age is new. You can listen to any radio station you want, from anywhere. So I decided a couple of months ago to start listening to the local Boston, so I can just hear what they talk about, how they talk about the Patriots. I'll tell you right now, I'm such a good Pats fan. There are Pats fans out there who are crazy.
I know.
That applies to pretty much every Boston team
And
out there.
they're
That's like Red Sox.
And they're
Celtics, all of them.
stupid.
Your
You
buddy's
have guys
fan.
calling in about, are they gonna get rid of Brady so they can put in Garoppolo? the Pats can never be, just like talking ridiculous. No, the Pats can never be stopped, and they're high on themselves.
Well, but they're also like preaching to like if they in the area they say anything bad about the Patriots, they probably lose their job.
It's like no, I'm talking about callers though, not the people who are on the show, like actual fans who are callers who just sound absolutely ridiculous, and so I stopped listening because I think they're stupid. And so
they lower your IQ the longer you listen.
I'm just like, I don't want I'm like, do you guys not remember 2007 when we just got our
that year's a little asterisk. It doesn't count.
No, that year counts. Forever it will be etched in my memory, and forever I will never take anything for granted ever again in any sport. And so
that's hilarious.
But I think you're right. I think the reason why they're not superstitious is because they're complacent.
Yeah, and show me a long stretch where they've not done something to where they really had to worry about it.
I'm freaking out every game. Like, I don't know if they're going to win. Any game that they play, I know they can lose.
Right. I mean, number one is the Buffalo Bills. So.
Superstitious?
Yeah. Exactly.
4 years in a row. Buffalo. You're cursed.
Yeah. They can't get over it.
Right there.
Not only
that says it a lot, right?
They lose 4 Super Bowls in a row, and then less than 10 years later, the Patriots go on this crazy dynastic run.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Is the Buffalo curse real?
Any team that has a really bad losing streak, their curse is very real to them.
What kind of who's your team?
The Kings? The Kings have a curse? Are they cursed from the Western Conference Finals of 2002?
Do they?
The Donahue curse is what I'm going to call it.
There you go. It depends on if you're a fan or not. It's all perspective.
I don't know, man. I don't like to be that superstitious.
Right? I'm still mad at Stern.
Why?
For Xing the trade
with Chris Paul.
For Chris Paul. That was a championship.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that was a championship.
So what? You guys would have had?
I'm serious.
You would have had who would have been the team? What? Chris, Dwight,
Kobe.
Mm-hmm. Is that different? Well, Nash isn't old.
Yeah.
You don't have old Nash.
Yeah,
so,
right.
What's up, guys?
Hey, are we live? Oh,
yeah, we've been streaming live since the beginning of the show. So we're on Instagram and on YouTube right now. Why not?
SG's got it going on.
Why not, guys?
So the Patriots win. They win in overtime.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. I was in shock after the game. I couldn't even believe that they were able to score 31 unanswered points, all with less than
call it, man. Go down to some mess.
All then less than 2 minutes left in the third quarter.
Yeah.
They score all these points and they come back to win the whole game. I was sitting there staring at my mom. I was like, "Mom, do you understand this? Like, this is absolutely ridiculous. If this happens, it's ridiculous that this would even happen."
Yeah.
And so I was in shock. Where does this leave the Patriots in terms of all-time dynasties? Are they on par with the Steel Curtain?
They have to be. Yeah.
Have to be now.
Yeah. They have to. What, they have 9 appearances?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they have to. 5 championships?
Yeah.
They have to. I mean, there's no conversation left to be had. Conversation's over. A lot of this game, but besides how it happened, just by winning, it should solidify a lot of questionable things, regardless how you feel about the team.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people might still be disappointed and not like the fact that they won, but you have to respect the fact that they won. You have to respect the fact that Tom Brady missed 4 games.
And they still won. They still won 3-1.
Yeah.
People are saying that now Bill Belichick is definitively the greatest coach of all time.
I don't know.
I know we just had that conversation last week about.
Has to wait. I think it has to wait till he's done.
Until he's done.
Yeah.
Did you hear what he said?
No.
He's already he's ready 5 weeks late on next season in terms of working for next season. Get out of here! Come on, you're like we're not going to see a picture of him on his boat in 2 weeks.
Oh my gosh! It's like whatever.
Yeah.
That's why.
Wow.
That's why.
That's why.
That's why people can't stand the Patriots. It's stuff like that. Like, come on, man. Really? I mean, we get it.
Yeah.
But come on, it's we know it's serious.
I'm not even going to talk about the other debate because I'm convinced that people are still going to continue to have that debate.
What?
About Tom Brady in Montana.
Yeah, I mean,
I've had 3 people come up to me today just specifically to have that debate
because he never lost one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's still an argument.
But at the same time, when you look at how many records were actually set just with yesterday's game, I'd go over them, but I lost count after 23.
Games for who? Or
how many records were set in the game yesterday between Belichick and Brady? Just Belichick and Brady. How many?
What are they?
All right, we'll go over them real quick. Let me see if I cut my list off.
Oh, did they break a bunch of their own records?
They've just set a bunch of records, period. I'm trying to recover. Our internet has slightly frozen me out, so you'll have to bear with me. But a couple of them are, let's see, most games as a head coach, Bill Belichick was 7. Most games won as a head coach, 5, Bill Belichick. Most points per game, James White. Now it cuts the screen out on me. Here we go. Sorry, it's a picture of the article of the actual stats, so it takes a minute for the JPEG to load.
When there's so many stats, what can you do?
Well, it is the Patriots. They don't want to put them out there. They're like, we'll tell you guys, but then you might really.
What was so funny is I saw Alex today at school, and he asked me what people were saying to me because I had my jersey on. Yeah. And I said, actually, no one's talked to me at all yet. And of course, in that very next class, someone starts talking to me.
How was it? Was it good talk or bad talk?
Here we go. Sorry. Super Bowl record set. Most games, 7, Tom Brady. Most games as a head coach, Bill Belichick. Most points per game, 20, James White. Most passes per career, 309 for Tom Brady. Most passes in a game, 62 for Tom Brady. Most completions in a career, 207, Tom Brady. Most completions per game, 43, Tom Brady. Most passing yards in a career, 2,071, Tom Brady. Most passing yards in a game, 466, Tom Brady. Most touchdown passes in a career, 15, Tom Brady. Most receptions in a game, 14, James White. Most games per team, 9 for New England. Largest deficit overcome for a winning team, 25 points for New England. Most points in an overtime period, obviously since there's never been one in a Super Bowl, New England was 6.
Well, how many could it be? Because you could only score 7 points. Oh, I guess if you scored field goals,
2 field goals, and then a touchdown, so you could get 10. But there's never been a Super Bowl, so they were gonna win that one regardless, or overtime. I'm sorry. Most first downs in a game per team, New England with 37. Most first downs in a game.
In this game yesterday?
Yeah.
What?
Most first downs in a game, both teams, New England and Atlanta, 54. Most first downs passing in a game, New England with 26. Most first downs passing in a game, both teams, New England versus Atlanta, 39. Most offensive plays in a game, New England with 93. Most passes in a game, Team New England, 63. Most completions in a game, New England, 43. Most passing yards in a game, New England, 442. Most passing yards in a game, both teams, 682, New England versus Atlanta. Super Bowl records tied. Most games won, 5, Tom Brady. Most touchdowns in a game, James White with 3. Most 2-point conversions in a game, James White and Danny Amendola with 1 apiece. Most sacks in a game since 1982, Jarrett Grady with 3. Most 2-point conversions in a game, New England with 2. Most 2-point conversions in a game, both teams, New England versus Atlanta. And most first downs by penalty, New England with 4.
Oh, yeah, those penalties were huge, too.
Huge list of records set with the Super Bowl yesterday.
That's crazy.
Huge list. And Tom Brady's name and New England and Bill Belichick, they're on there quite a bit. Yeah. So how do you not include them in those dynasty talks?
Yeah, you said it earlier, Alex. They break records.
Yep.
I underestimated what we were talking about.
Yeah.
I underestimated what we were talking about.
They sure do.
What did you just ask me before? I wanted to answer you. I don't remember. But it's okay. You want to go to a break real fast?
Yes.
And then we can come back. It's getting a little hot in the studio, like I had a feeling it would. But we'll come back. We'll finish up talking about the Super Bowl. There's some basketball stuff I want to talk about. We can talk about where does this leave Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers, and where do they go forward?
And the poll question.
And the poll question, of course.
Back to the poll question.
Of course. So we'll get into some more stuff, absolutely. If you guys are out there watching on Facebook Live, hello. We will be back just shortly right here on KXVS. This is KXVS Sports Tonight.
Be back in a few.
Here at KXVS,